What is happening, fellow pioneers of human transportation? I'm Yogi Steve. You're watching ESA, the Electric Scooter Academy. I'm coming at you with the 300-mile review of the Roadrunner Pro. I'm also going to give some advice for brand new owners. I've realized that a lot of people buying this vehicle, it's really their first big dual motor scooter, and there's a certain way you need to handle a brand new scooter. There are some very simple lessons you need to be taught before you ride the scooter, and I'm going to teach you about all that stuff right now. So if you just got one, you really need to watch this video. It's really important. Here we are at 300 miles, and I really love the vehicle. I love riding it. It is super comfortable. It is super fast. I come from the world of stand-up scooters mostly, so sitting down is fantastic, and having that real-life suspension is pretty amazing as well. I've done a bunch of delivery shifts, I've done a couple of group rides, I've done a lot of local riding with it. Everywhere I go, people ask me about this vehicle, and I often ask them, look, take a look at this. Does this look like it's Pee Wee Herman's vehicle or Batman's vehicle? And most people say, yeah, they could see Batman riding this. But regardless, the vehicle is fun, it's fast, it's comfortable, it's pretty cool. It's pretty tough, modern looking, powerful, durable vehicle. I really like it a lot. So I don't want to just go on and on telling you how much I like it. Let me tell you everything you need to know about it, especially when you first get yours, okay? So when you first get yours, you need to have your wrench ready, your socket wrench or your adjustable wrench, your appropriately sized Allen wrench, and your air pump ready. So what I'm going to tell you is standard for any PEV. Any electric vehicle, regardless of how much you pay for it, from the entry-level couple $100 price up to the $10,000 price point and above. You need to check these vehicles yourself. You need to check this vehicle yourself just for your safety. Since this is basically an unregulated business, who knows what is happening out there, so you got to protect yourself. So you want to go through the entire vehicle, through every single point, and make sure everything is tight. You want to look for every single open nut, tighten that. You want to find every single open Allen head, tighten that. You want to look at your shocks. You want to look at your light. You want to look at your bumper. You want to look at your peg stand. You want to look at the nuts attaching the shock, top and bottom. You want to check out the Allen heads on the brake calipers. Just make sure they're tight. Make sure the nuts on the wheels are tight. There's a lot of screws in these tires because these are split rim tubeless tires on the Pro. Check every single open Allen head on there. There's 10 of them on the front and on the back wheel just for the split rim. Check your neck. Check these screws here at the neck. Check the screws at your display. Check your screws at your throttle. Check your screws at your brake levers. As a matter of fact, you might want to adjust your brake levers to a height that's better for you because that doesn't really fit everybody. And then I want you to get your air pump out, and I want you to check the air pressure in your tires. If you just got it out of the box, they're almost undoubtedly low. Manufacturers never pump the tires up all the way before shipping the vehicle for whatever reason, so make sure you check your tires. These tires say 40 PSI on them. I've been running them at 35 to 40 PSI. And then generally speaking, I recommend checking your tire pressure every 100 miles. On any electric scooter, you're going to have your flats more often from low tire pressure than high tire pressure. You're better off going a little higher than is recommended by the company as far as PSI goes than lower. Lower tire pressure causes flats much more frequently than higher tire pressure. So check your tire pressure every 100 miles. Better yet, check it every 25 to 50 miles, especially the rear tire because that's where most of your weight goes. This goes for any electric scooter. Get into the habit of frequently checking your tires. So many people struggle with flats. I think a lot of it is because they're never checking their tire pressure. A couple things specific to the Roadrunner Pro that I want you to check regularly. There's this very cool plug-and-play wire right here that runs from the battery to the motor that's in the wheel. Now, when you do your tire changes on a regular scooter, you're constantly worried about stressing this wire, about stretching it out once you take the wheel off of the forks. But this scooter has this great plug-and-play wire. So now when you're doing a tire change, you can separate the tire from the battery, which is just freaking tremendous. But it's been my experience, this thing vibrates a lot like any high-speed vehicle. The screws down here that connect this wire, they come loose easily. So every 25 miles, go there, grab those wires, make sure they're loose. Check your front and your rear, plug and play, motor to battery connector. Just check that regularly. Now, if you're a new owner, I know most of you guys are getting the vehicle and putting it into maximum settings, probably in this case like mode number 5, as fast as you can, and just want to blast away at the vehicle. But I have to give you a lesson that I learned the hard way in 2019. On these very high-powered electric vehicles, when you're down to your last, let's say 20 or 30% of battery, you can no longer max out the scooter. There's a safety mechanism built into the battery management system that if you push the vehicle too hard when the battery is low, it'll turn the scooter off. That's to protect the scooter. Doesn't mean your scooter is broken. If you wait 20 or 30 minutes, you can reignite the scooter, press the on button, and it'll pretty much always come back on. So point being is, when you're down to your last 20 or 30% of battery, you cannot put this thing into top gear, top acceleration, top speed. You'll simply turn the scooter off. And a lot of people think when that happens, oh, something went wrong with the scooter, I broke it. But this is just standard for big dual motor scooters. It is unfortunate that this is standard, but that's just the way it is. So when the vehicle starts really slowing down from its normal top speed, let's say in third gear, I usually get 34 miles per hour, but then I've driven it for 20 miles or so, and now I can only get 29 miles per hour in that same third gear. I know that I'm very low on battery, probably at my last 20%, regardless of what the readouts say. This is another lesson for you. I use the speed of the vehicle at the moment to determine where the battery is out. So like I said, on the flats, I know in third mode that this vehicle goes 34 miles per hour. But once I've driven 15 or 20 miles, then my top speed becomes 29, 30, 31 miles per hour, losing more than 10%. And once you lose more than 10% of your top speed, you're probably in the bottom 20 or 30% of your battery. And in those cases, you have to dial the battery down to lower modes. In this case, mode 3 is still pretty low. You have to avoid mode 4 and 5, full acceleration, top speed, when you're in the bottom portion of your battery. That's just a very important lesson. I've taken a couple of long walks in 2019 on my Dualtron Ultras when for some reason the scooter would just turn off. That's because I was like you. When I was brand new to the scooter world, I only put everything in the top level high speed. Now that I'm experienced, I drive my big Dualtrons in mode 2 out of 3 almost exclusively. I'm driving this in mode 3 and 4, totally avoiding mode 5. Point being is, there's just no reason to go crazy with your vehicles. These vehicles are durable, but if you're going to push them, you'll be more likely to have problems. So this vehicle does have a very good 60 volt, 30 amp hour battery. Some people are talking about this battery being swappable. It does have a handle in it. You can pull it out and you can replace it. I'm not sure if they're selling a secondary battery, but it's my opinion that if you want more range out of this vehicle, you're going to buy a built battery. You're going to build a battery and build it into the vehicle, because I don't think you're going to carry around a secondary 60 volt, 30 amp hour battery. It'll just be incredibly heavy. You're not going to carry it on your back. It's not going to fit in here. But I'm looking to have a custom battery built right here where the pizza bag goes. This is the cargo bag, if you don't know. There's a big space in here. I'm probably going to put my extra battery there, and I'm probably going to add 10 or 15 amp hours, and I'll be golden. Right now, I get about 25 miles range on it. Some stuff from the Facebook group, Emove, Roadrunner, new users, and mods. Some guys are already talking about upgrading their shocks. They're saying that these shocks, these rear shocks here, they don't think they're going to bottom out. You know, I'm not really bodying them. They're going to bottom out easier on heavier riders. And some guys are talking about putting in new front forks. But, you know, that's up to the individual. For me, I'm very comfortable on it the way it is. I only weigh 180, and I'm trying to lose weight. So that's a good thing. The lighter you are, the better. I think the kickstand on this is great. It's super burly. And that's everything I really know about the Emove Roadrunner Pro. Make sure you join my Facebook group if you own one, if you're considering buying one, Emove Roadrunner new users and mods. That way you can ask questions about the unit. If you receive a unit and you have any problems, we have all the answers there for you. We're just cultivating the community around the Pro, because only a few people have these now. But I'm looking forward to figuring out what are the little things that are going to go wrong with this in the future, because every scooter has that problem. Again, I said we're going to probably replace the rear shocks. Some people are going to replace the front shocks. We're probably going to add battery. I'm probably going to upgrade my brakes from these Zooms to the new 4-piston nuts. I really think these brakes are very good, though. These Zoom brakes, I've done very well on them so far. We got 300 miles on the pads, and they're not worn out yet. But I probably will add, I want 4-piston nut caliper brakes on here. If you want to buy one of these, make sure you use my bonus code, Electric Scooter Academy. You get $50 off. I know it's not a lot, but it really supports me as a content creator. I don't offer bonus codes for all the vehicles I've reviewed. I only offer bonus codes from companies that I work with, that I trust, that I basically know the owners. And right now, I'm only really working with Voromotors an e-bike company called Velotric, a very high quality bike. I don't work with very many companies, so this is just one of the companies I'm working very closely with. I'm very excited about it, so if you use my bonus code, it really supports me as a content creator, and I am putting a lot of work into it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave comments, ask questions, live stream coming, set your notifications. Peace, I'll see you soon.